Kaylee Jane here with Cedar Winds Farm. It is a nice, rainy, damp, chilly day, and I'm out in the woods with my goats, naturally. We got this winter pasture set up last night. We got the last of the fencing put up last night. It's a very brushy, steep area, lots of gullies and ravines. And then we've got this pond bank, which is what's right behind me here. And we've got a lot of autumn olive, which is an invasive species here in Missouri, growing along the pond banks. It's really shading the pond. It's not very good for the pond. So we're going to be grazing goats in this area over the winter. Hopefully they will knock back some of the autumn olive. They haven't been real thrilled about the autumn olive up to this point, but since it's one of the few green things out here, I'm hoping they'll be more excited about it. And one thing that I have discovered is if you go in and cut down the mature trees, the goats do a pretty good job of keeping them trimmed off. The sprouts that come up, they kind of will cut off the tops of those and just kind of keep them from getting taller and from spreading. So that is really helpful. And I'm also hoping that maybe they will chew on the bark of some of the mature trees as well. So I'm going to try to see if I can encourage them to do that. But even if they don't, I think they will at least help keep it beaten back some. So that will hopefully be beneficial to this area down here. So these are all autumn olives that these are all big trees that we cut down, and this is all just regrowth that has happened since the spring when we cut these down. And you could see the goats have kind of trimmed these off already. They're just chopping the tops of these sprouts down. And then over here on this bank, there's some mature trees that we haven't done anything with. So I'll just zoom in here, and you could just see how they're just really growing on the bank there and almost to the water line of the pond. So I'm hoping that maybe the goats will be encouraged to strip some of the bark from those trees as well, and kind of keep them knocked back. I wanted to give you guys a herd update as well. This is Butte. She is not bred yet, but she will be coming into heat soon, and I'm going to be breeding her in the next couple of days for May kids. This is Syl. She has decided to dry herself off. I was originally planning, well, yeah, what do you think? That's water down there. Yep. I was originally planning to milk her through the winter, but she, for whatever reason, decided to dry herself off a couple of weeks ago. So I will going to be breeding her. She and Butte should be coming into heat within a couple days of each other, and so I'm going to go ahead and breed her as well. Syl is actually currently for sale as well, but I'm not sure if she's going to really sell or not. Market's really slow right now, so I'm not in a huge hurry to sell her. She's a really nice goat. And I wouldn't even mind keeping her through the spring and potentially retaining a kid or two from her. I wasn't planning to breed her this fall. I was going to just continue milking her through the winter. But obviously she had other plans, so you know, I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe she had some kind of an underlying issue or something that was just making it difficult for her to keep producing milk. Not really sure, but I'm glad that she dried herself off. I would rather she do that than get run down. So I think she's in pretty good shape. She's always a little bit ribby. She's an alpine. They seem to just kind of always be a bit on the skinny side. But she's been putting on a little weight over the last couple weeks, so I think she should be in pretty good shape. Josie over here next to Syl should be bred. In a couple more weeks, I'll be sure that she's bred if she doesn't come back into heat. She's one that I milked through last spring, or last year. So she's still in milk, and she's been in milk for like a year and a half at this point. Can you make it? They're trying to get all this uh, honeysuckle that's growing along this bank here. Anyways, so she was bred about a week and a half ago, I guess. And then over here I've got Cleo and Sunday, and they were both bred and they have not come back into heat, so they should both have kids in April. They should both be pregnant, so I'm really excited to see what they do. There's Cleo, there's Sunday. They're both growing up really nice. I'm very happy with how they're filling out. And just over the past couple weeks, especially, I've noticed Cleo has really gotten some nice width on her. She's standing in a really awkward position right now, but anyway, she just looks really good. I'm very pleased with how she's growing. And Sunday is actually bigger than her mom, Syl, already, so she's going to be a really nice, good-sized girl as well. Butte's growing a little slower, but she is a little bit younger than the other two as well. And she's already nice and wide. I mean, you can just see the comparison between her and her mom. There's some good width going on there with Butte. And I think she will probably fill out. She may not end up as large as her mom. Josie's huge. She makes all my other goats look small. She makes Syl look small. And Syl's full grown, so you know, I'm not sure if Butte will end up as large as her mom or not, but I think she'll end up a decent sized girl at least. The Nubians, they will grow until they're like 3 years old. So they are a slow growing breed, which is why I waited to breed these gals until they were a year old. I just wanted them to have that growth time. And they will even continue growing for probably another year and a half. They will all be about 2 years old when they have their first set of kids. So they will have had a good solid year of growing without having to support pregnancy or lactation. So funny, I feel like I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and then here comes the FedEx man down the driveway. Oh man. Go girls, go. I'm loving the way that you're going after these sprouts. This is great. I wanted to show you this collar here. These are breakaway collars that I make, and this plastic chain is, I get it at Lowe's. And it actually will break if you put pressure on it. I've had the goats break out of these multiple times, so I feel like they're a bit safer than just a regular generic collar. But one thing that I did not realize is that these little carabiners, hang on, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I don't have a tripod, my goats chewed it up. These little carabiners here, like this is how they work. Super handy, but somehow Sunday has achieved the knack of hooking herself to their hay feeder with this carabiner. So she ends up tied to the hay feeder, which is a problem. So she did that this morning, and I had actually already ordered a different type of carabiner, like the type that you use for rappelling, that have a safety feature so that you can't unhook this bit here without unscrewing the little safety latch thing. So I ordered those. They should be here sometime next week. So right now all my yearlings just don't have collars on because they all had that type of catch on their collar, and it obviously was a safety issue. If you ever have trouble, like, you know, with pride, or feeling like you've, you know, really arrived and you know, you want to make sure you don't get too big of a head just by goats, they can get themselves into more trouble and make you look more dumb than pretty much any other species of animal I've ever handled. They're just really good at it. They're good at foiling your prideful tendencies. So I was super excited. I had these collars. They were great. Had these amazing latches. They were easy to operate and cheap. And then Sunday goes and ties herself to the hay feeder. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to go for another plan. So I've been messing with these collars for like years now. And I still haven't quite achieved a perfect scenario with those yet. So anyways, I'm going to keep working on that. We'll see what happens. This is one of the roughest times of year to own goats, honestly. This late fall, early winter type of season. It's just really wet. It's cold, muddy, and the goats are under a lot of stress because it's breeding season, and that just puts a lot of emotional and physical strain on all of them. And I'm going to squat down here so you can see the goat butts. Pretty goat butts. And so anyways, it's just a rough time of year, which is why I'm so happy that we got this fence finished so I could put my girls out here. There's not a lot to eat. They're still going to eat primarily hay, but it gives them some fresh air and a change of scenery and a little something fresh. And so it's just really helpful to have this option. Hi, Sil. Hi, beautiful. For them. Hi, Dove. And you know, I've been having some coughs and some snotty noses and just different things going on, and sitting up there at the barn thinking I gotta get my goats out on the land. That's what they need. So I'm just really happy that I finally have that option now. And I actually have been sick for almost 2 weeks, so I haven't done as much of this pasture as I would have liked. My sister and brother-in-law actually really helped with putting up fences and stuff, so I really appreciate them working on that. Wet goat. Hi, Josie. Are you gonna have some beautiful babies? Hey, don't push her into the pond. That's rude. Still.